let's get to it. Have a seat over there on the red, please. All right, let's, hey Chad, come on out if you would. Okay, so getting right to our new principle. We'll do a framing drill that'll act as our warm-up, and then the night will progress from there. So framing is our next principle, and what that means is this is very much in line with our third principle or fourth principle. I'm not sure. I'm getting confused at this point. But the principle of distance, managing the space between you and your partner. Framing is a big part of that process. It's keeping him at a certain distance and then extracting myself and then filling that space. It's not moving him. Don't think of framing as pushing him and trying to move him away. It's more just keeping him at bay, and then we will then create space and then fill that space. It's taking his weight and getting it off of me. It's sometimes they're closed frames, meaning 1, 2, it's a closed circuit here. Sometimes it's open frames. We can frame with our upper body and our lower body, and we're going to take a look at all of these, and we can frame offensively and or defensively. So let's start off with a really effective way to not only warm up, but get this idea across. And that is, from a sitting position, I'm going to stand up, so you can stand up as well. Okay, so I'm in a combat base. Hey, I see a lot of inexperienced people, mostly kids, do this, where when they want to try to stand up, or when this person's pressuring them, and they want to create some space here and try to get back to their feet, they do stuff like this to try to stand back up. So let's not do that. It's risky on your shoulders if he pushes me hard from here. Yeah, so pick one side, because the other hand is going to act as an open frame. I can grab straight in like this. I can turn my thumb down. I can go across. I can just post on the shoulder. It just depends on where you think he's going and where we need to structurally line ourselves up. Here, now he starts to come in, and I manage that space. He comes in, and I'm maintaining this space with my bones, with my skeleton. If I use my muscles and try to maintain the space here, that's very difficult. I can't do that. So watch this again. Come in a little bit more. Okay, this is an ineffective frame. It's not a frame. It's just me trying to muscle him away. Give me some pressure. Give me some pressure. Yeah, jeez. Okay, so now watch. Give me pressure. And that's a good frame. Let me do it on the other side. So using my muscles. Can't do it. Using my bones. Easy peasy. Okay, so now the next phase of this is you're managing the space, and then what are we doing? I'm not trying to move him. The idea of framing is not to stop him and then move him. The idea is to move myself around my frame. So he's giving me pressure. I'm holding him off. And then I do whatever I want to do. I'm moving around my frame. Okay, so it starts off like this. I pick a side. He gives me a little bit of pressure here. I say, stop! Okay, it can be wherever you want. It can be on the shoulder, far shoulder, near shoulder. It can be a grip on the lapel, either on the inside or on the outside here. He gives me some pressure, and I feel it. Don't rush it. Like on Tuesday night. Feel it first. A little bit more. Okay, that's nice. Okay, he starts to give me some pressure. I get up. Here, he's still giving me this pressure. We're going to go after this leg. Put him down. He's coming in. I'm framing him away. I create some space. He's still coming in. Now, you'll need to decide whether you need to abandon the frame as you go into the leg. I got pretty long arms. It's a pretty tough grab for me if I keep my arms straight right there. So once we start to go for it, you might need to bend that arm just a little bit here and then push it again. Depends on how much distance you need. He's coming in, framing, moving back. He's still giving me that pressure. As we're coming up, come in. If I don't push, it's going to be hard to pull his leg off the ground. So I'm pushing, making that leg light, and then following it up by standing up. Putting him down and me coming up. Okay, moving on to more framing from a little bit different position. We're still going to do this from a bottom position, but this time let's go closed guard. Closed guard. So I'm going to form a frame, and then that frame's going to keep him in place so that I can move. Closed guard. Okay, what can I do? I can attack him with sweeps or submissions. Okay, we know that. Hey, I can also frame him and extract myself and come out of this. I don't need to play a closed guard game if I don't want to. A perfect example of someone who's really good at this is Boyce. Okay, big brown belt Boyce. Man, it's so frustrating to be in Chad's position when you're going against Boyce, because he doesn't have that great of a guard game, and he knows it. So if he ever finds himself in this position, this is exactly what he does. He frames here, and then he just comes up like that. It's frustrating because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be passing, I'm passing, and I don't even get a chance to pass because he frames and extracts himself out. Frustrating. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to frame on him. Maybe it's a cross lapel, maybe it's the same side lapel, maybe it's a thumb down, maybe it's just hand right on the clavicle right here. I use my bones. I'm not using my muscles. Give me some pressure. I'm not using my muscles. I use my bones and I lock it out. That means I need to change the angle. Give me some pressure. Give me some pressure. Okay, so I'm framing. My arm is straight, but there's a lot of pressure going into my shoulder right now. Give me some pressure. Okay, so you got to find those angles. If you find that you're trying to frame on somebody and it's very difficult, fix your angle. It's an angle issue, is the problem. Okay, I'm locked out, I'm up on my elbow, and now I start extracting myself to here. And then I decide what I want to do. Do I want to go all the way to my feet? Do I want to drag him down to a turtle and attack the turtle? You know, I'll let you decide what you want to do there. So far, all we've done is an open frame where we're using our entire arm as the frame. There's multiple ways to use our bodies to frame, and the purpose of framing again is to keep the distance, to keep his weight off of us so that we can move out from under him and then, you know, affect him in some way. So now it's going to be more of a live drill. I'll tell you when to switch roles with your partner. My partner is going to be lightly passing my guard. Your mindset's mostly to try to be heavy on me, okay, while you're trying to get around the legs. Now, I'm going to let it happen to a certain extent because I want to play with my frames. So this is kind of going into guard retention, but play with all aspects of early prevention, middle retention, late retention, and using those frames. We can use our palm, and we're going to be locking out this way. If the frame starts to break and we start to use our muscles here, then we need to switch to an elbow frame. Okay. And then we can go back and we can have multiple frames. We can have a closed, reinforced frame like this. We're going to be using our legs, like in a knee shield position, to frame. So it'll look like this. Chad's giving me pressure, and I'm just keeping him off of me. Just like we did on Tuesday. I want to play with it, though. Okay, look at my arms bending. So now I come to an elbow. Okay, now freeze, go back. Get a little pressure, a little bit of pressure. Now look at the angle here. The best framing angle is perpendicular, 90 degrees. Is that the case right now?
No, sir.
No, he's defeating my arm. So what do I need to do? There. Okay, I changed the angle. This is ineffective. He's going to kill that. Okay, so I feel it, and now I go. Now give me some pressure. Okay, I can take that. This is good. I'm feeling what he's doing. I'm feeling him trying to put weight on me. And I'm framing against him. I let him get by a little bit more. Let him get all the way over here. If you're doing this, a good frame shouldn't be difficult to maintain. So let me just, here, I'll just do this. You just do your thing, and I'm just going to count. And I want you to hear my voice when I'm struggling to maintain a frame and when I'm maintaining a good frame. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Get the idea? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you always want to keep that effortless cadence to your framing. Chad, why don't you come right over here? I think this is the best view. So side control, here's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want him to be chest on chest with me. And I certainly don't want him to have a cross face and this underhook. This is best case scenario for Chad, pretty much worst case scenario for me. So we're going to start with getting our elbow in, getting our hand under his chin, and then blocking the crossface with our hand. Okay, how do we get into here? Well, we probably should have started this process as he was passing the guard. So go back. So as he's getting past the legs, we never want to be like, oh shoot. And then like starting from there. That's terrible. Like once I feel him getting past my legs, we're framing and we're minimizing the damage. He beat my legs and now we're here. And now he's trying to get chest on chest with me. He's trying to put the pressure on me. And this is where I'm going to be. Okay, put pressure on me. 1, 2, 3. I'm finding comfort by using my bones to keep his weight off. I'm going to plant my foot so that I can hip out and move away from him. Remember, I'm not trying to move him, I'm moving me. I reach out, and I do a reverse shrimp. Then I fill that space, creating a stronger wedge or a stronger frame with my shin. Still ready to go here because he's going to be reaching to try to grab something. And I'm framing his hand. I don't want him to have a lapel or my head. Here like that. So as I'm coming in, I'm framing. He's putting pressure on me. He's putting pressure on me. Framing. And I recompose the guard. And then we're going to work both sides on this, but you can just stay here. Okay, so from like right here, this is going to be the starting position. Okay, we never just want to accept that he passed and now we're here. Okay, as he gets past the legs, we're minimizing damage, avoiding that crossface, and we're framing. These are short frames, right? Okay, I'm not out here like this. Okay, he's getting past the legs, and I wasn't able to get this long frame, so I'm using short frames, which means my forearm and the elbow, less of the hands here. So I have a connection to his shoulder, and then my elbow is to his other shoulder, and my whole forearm is going across. This one right here, it'll depend. Sometimes it's going to be out here like this, but as he closes the gap a little bit, watch my elbow. It'll frame underneath on his hip, still avoiding that cross face, And if I can't get my knee in right now, then I create space, and then I fill that space. And he's going to be looking for the head off the guard pass. You know, as he's getting past the legs here like this, he's probably going to be looking for head control there. Okay, so, you know, as you're losing the ability to maintain guard, there's this shift that happens where because guard is offensive most of the time. Okay, I can still be combat effective here. Okay, go a little bit more. Okay, less so now. Okay, and now, okay, I'm pretty much retention at this point. Okay, and now as he beats me now, in order for him to solidify, if he doesn't grab the head, try to pass my guard without grabbing my head. I'll be able to keep chasing it back. Now pass my guard with grabbing the head or the collar, whatever you want. Okay, now everything just became harder. Okay, so as that happens and he grabs that head, we gotta get inside of that. Okay, even just having the hand on the inside will help shut down his crossface. Okay, but the point that I wanted to make was this. Go ahead and go, yeah, right here. Okay, so he's got a crossface here. I get my hand underneath. Okay, so hold my head. Okay, lock me down. Don't let me regard. Okay, so I have a frame here. Very hard. Okay, so watch this now. Okay, so the point is this: we can't let him have the head, and if he starts here like this, we frame and we get underneath. Here's my frame here. Okay, now put pressure on me. Keep pressure. 1, 2, 3. Ease off. Put pressure on me. 1, 2, 3. Bad news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Did I get my point across?
And that goes back to what we did a couple years ago when you had a nice list over there and you were fighting for the inside.
Yeah.
You're getting that inside.
Control that inside space, especially from the defensive position. Okay, so that's it for framing tonight. We'll be taking a look at this all of next week as well. Lots of stuff that we can cover with this principle. So be looking for framing tonight. Put yourself in a position where you can utilize those frames and play around with this principle in your rolls tonight. Ready? 1, 2, 3.